Hello everyone, I'm Danny Ivan, and I'm going to be on not my main, but my second, which is an Alliance Warrior. My main is a Horde Paladin. I typically play on my Alliance Warrior for Alliance content. And if this is anything like Shadowlands, it kind of just merging the content for Horde Alliance, so he's going to be used as a backup in case I have a system problem when I'm doing my recordings on quest videos. So I do use this character quite a bit anyway. So I'm going to review the talent trees provided, select them. I'm going to start off as Fury Warrior, then Protection, then Arms. I was Fury in Shadowlands. I was Fury for a while, but that can always change. I could be a arms, just depending if I like the style, I like the damage output. If it works with what I'm trying to do, I'd be okay with that. So with this here, see, I just opened up the Pre-Patch. New talent system, Dragonflight coming out soon, new user interface, fun stuff. I'm an old dollar, and so user interface, yes, all the stuff here. Let me real quick. I was actually no, I'll stay here. I have something to do after this video. I'm trying to grind these boots to match my transmog. It's just stupid. Anyway, let's just look at this stuff now. So they give me a cookie cutter basically to start out with. It doesn't mean I necessarily have to agree with it. Like, if I just want to start playing, go at it, okay. See if I like it. If not, then, try something else. So I'm just working on this. So, again, like I said, I'm going to start out Fury, Protection, and Arm. So, if you're watching this on a recording, not live on YouTube, then that's what I'm going through. This way you can skip around to what you want, or if you watch this whole video, that'd be awesome. Just make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz stuff. So I am on Fury right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and reset all this. Boom, reset. It starts off with first the all-around warrior talent points, and then Fury, right? So I'm Fury focused. So Berserker stance, an aggressive combat state that increases the damage of your auto attacks by 15% and reduces the duration of fear, sap, and incapacitated effects only by 10%. Cool. And then I can go defensive stats if I really want to, but I mean, that does it. I mean, if you go through this, is it something that you're going to want for Fury and Arms? I mean, anyway, yes, 100% I want that. Berserker Rage, 1 minute cooldown, go Berserk, removing and granting immunity for fear, sap, and all the other stuff. So this is just great to get out of crowd control situations. Impending Victory replaces Victory Rush. Interesting. Instant attack the target, causing damage and healing for you, 30% of your maximum health. Killing an enemy that yields experience and honor resets the cooldown and impending victory and makes the cost of. So, Victory Rush. Where did I put that thing? Do I even have Victory Rush right now? I don't. Interesting. It's just it's giving me the impending victory. Whatever. Okay, fine. War Machine. Your auto attacks generates 20% more rage. Kill an enemy instantly generates 10 rage and increases your movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. Cool. That's a universal fit for everything, I believe. So this is the defense stats. Reduces damage, all damage you deal. Intervene. rush towards an ally. Rally cry. Let's loose a rally cry, granting all party raid members within 40 yards 15% temporary and maximum health for 10 seconds. Nah. Berserker Shout. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to fear, sap, and incapacitated effects. For 6 seconds. Also removes fear effects from group members within 12 yards. That's pretty cool. Helps out with other people who are affected by it. That's cool. Freeze and Hell snares all enemies within 12 yards, reducing their movement speeds by 70%. So 100% I would use this for PvP purposes. My only question is how often will I use this for PvE? Because I do use it for PvE, like crap goes down. But it's just a matter of how often I would use this Berserking Shout. Also removes fear effects from group members within 12 yards. I mean, what's underneath it? Frothy and Berserker. Rampage has a 20% chance to immediately refund 20% of the rage spent. You know, in Shadowlands, there wasn't a lot of rage economy that I had to worry about. I always had rage. It, like, didn't even matter. So I don't know if they reduced it or anything like that. But then there's other stuff like Wreck and Throw, hurling your weapon at an enemy causing physical damage, ignoring armor. Deals up to 500% increased damage to absorb shields. I mean, that's total PvP right there. That screams. Don't necessarily need it for PvE that much. I really don't care. But what's Shattering Throw? Hurl your weapon at an enemy, causing physical damage, ignoring armor, and removing any magical immunity. It's dealing up to 500% increased damage to absorb shields. Big maybes on those. What's below this? Crushing Force. Slam deals an additional 30% damage and has a 7.5% increased critical strike chance. I'm guilty of not using enough Slam. Like, it's just my rage dump. Like, if I have too much rage, I just, like, keep using Slam. It's not like a primary attack of mine. Let me think on that one. Actually, let me, I think my crap here will reset if I switch to something else. Let's try that real quick. Nope, it did it. Well, yeah, like Rally Cry, can't use it. It's grayed out. Okay. I already got impending victory, so whatever. Fast foot movement speed increased by 5%. And I get Heroic Leap. I use Heroic Leap a lot. Spell reflection, raise your weapon, reflecting the first spell cast on you. And reduce magic damage you take by 20% for 5 seconds. Yeah, I definitely use that. Even for PvE, and use it for PvP. Leech increased by 5%. I like Leech a lot. Definitely. I'm still sitting on big maybes for PvE purposes. So right now I don't feel like getting them that much because this will let me get this, which is Pain and Gain. When you take damage, heal for 4.5% of your maximum health. See, I like that. So I don't have to go. This is so PvP. I'm not gonna be doing much PvP on it, especially on this character. This character is so PvE during Shadowlands. It wasn't even funny. So yeah, I like movement speed. Movement speed's fun. I like the reflection. I like Leech. Let's see. Rally Cry duration is increased by 3 seconds. And grants a further 5% maximum health. Okay, I don't need it. Restore 6% health every 1 second when you have not taken damage for 5 seconds. That's cool. Not important, but it's cool. All attack speed is increased by 5%. I like that. Thunderclap. Blast all enemies within 8 yards for physical damage. It reduces their movement speed by 20% for 10 seconds. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Pretty good. I would love that for PvP purposes. Intimidating shout. Fear a bunch of crap. Good old crap moment. I did use this a lot for PvE, so I'll probably look at. I hear it leap a lot, so 100% grabbing that right now. Auto attacks, grabbing that. These are our strong maybes. Strong maybes. Not right now. Let me see what else I can get. Pain and gain, yes, I like that. I was looking at that earlier. Okay? So underneath intimidating shout, I can get Fornerosis roar. Intimidating shout can withstand 200% more damage before breaking. I like that. Menace. Intimidating shout will knock back all nearby enemies except your primary target and cause them all to crowd in fear 15 seconds instead of fleeing. So, I mean, that's great for PvE, so you don't, like, fear them and then pull more mobs, right? So, trying to think. I don't need it. Let me just go. Look at this. Storm Bolt. Hurl your weapon at an enemy, causing damage, and study them for 4 seconds. Ooh, I like a stun and damage, and it's 20-yard range. Yeah. Maximum range increased by 15. Well, the thing is, Shadowlands, I did not have a problem with needing so much rage. I wonder if it's changed in Dragonflight, like rage economy. So I was always on a surplus in Shadowlands, always. Didn't even matter. I'll hold off if it's anything like Shadowlands. I can always respect. Keep in mind, me doing this doesn't mean I'm going to be like, this is the best. This is like first time taking a look what I think would be great moving forward, but I'm sure that there's going to be like experts on this, YouTube videos, Icy Veins, Wildhead about like what is the best cookie cutter talent tree. But this is just fun to look at. Gives me an idea how I can personalize my character that fits me best. So here is Barbaric Training. Slam and Whirlwind deals 20% increased damage and 10% increased critical strike damage. I do like Whirlwind a lot. Concussive Blows. Cooldown of Pummel reduced by 1 second. Successfully interrupting an enemy increases damage you deal to them by 5% for 10 seconds. I like the damage on Whirlwind. I do use it a lot. But I do like this a lot. I mean, I think of this one for PvP purposes especially. This one's so great for PvE though. Like, do you see myself doing a lot of AoE with it? And it's just normal, it's just Whirlwind. I'm gonna use that. This is mainly for PvE. I'm not thinking about PvP right now. We'll go on these lower abilities. So armor increased by 20%. That should be an auto yes. Bounding Stride reduces the cooldown of Heroic Leap by 15 seconds, and Heroic Leap now also increases your run speed by 70% for 3 seconds. I've had that before. I like it. What is the current cooldown on Heroic Leap? Where the heck did I put that? Oh, it's right here. So it's a 30-second cooldown. How much does it bring it down by? 15 seconds? Yeah, that's fun. What is this about? Okay, so this has something to do with Thunderclap, right? Blood and Thunder. Thunderclap deals 10% increased damage, costs 10 more range, and if you have Rend, Thunderclap affects 5 nearby enemies. Let's see, Thunderclap radius is increased by 50% and reduces movement speed by an additional 20%. I like that, especially for PvP purposes, but not. Thunderclap is not a go-to thing for me as a Fury. I could see this for PvE for protection spec. I'll think about that more later. What's this here? Sidearm. Your auto attacks have a 20% chance to hurl weapons at your targets and 3 other enemies in front of you, dealing additional physical damage. I like that. I like the sound of that. So I got 12 more points. Honed reflexes. Cooldown of Raging Blow and Pummel reduced by 1 second. And Pummel. I mean, I do use a lot of Raging Blow, right? That extra second does help a lot. Bitter Immunity restores 20% health instantly and removes all diseases, poisons, and curses affecting you. I do like this. It's like a quick cleanse on myself. And instantly heal myself for 20%. Big maybe. Big maybe. Let me just look at these others. Double time. Increases a maximum number of charges by 1 and reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. See, I charge a lot. Yeah, 100% for me. Titanic Throw. Replaces Heroic Throw. Throw your weapon at an enemy, causing physical damage. And 5 nearby enemies. That's cool, but not for me really. Seismic Reverberation. If Whirlwind hits 3 or more enemies, it hits them 1 additional time for 70% damage. See, I do AoE a lot. I do Whirlwind a lot. So yes, let's go with that. Alright, so here we are. I have to spend 3 talent points before going down any further. So what were my very strong maybes? This Bitter Immunity, I like that a lot. Intimidating Shout. Thunderclap just to have it. Maybe Berserking Shout to help my other teammates. See, I could really see that in like PvE situations too. Really see that a lot. I don't care about these throws that much, honestly. Oh wow, there's 2 points you put into Slam in this. You're really a big Slam person. Oof, this is really making Slam much better. Slam does look nice right now. Slam is definitely looking nice. Let me see. So, Bitter Immunity, 100%. So there's 2 points that I gotta put some Intimidating Shout and one of these stupid things, or... Rampage has a 20% chance to immediately refund 20% of rage stuff. Which Rampage? No, that's Blood Rage. That's fuck. Yeah, here's Rampage. So this is where I dump my rage into anyway. Every time I see it, it's Rampage instead of Slam, right? Because Slam doesn't generate rage; it's just another dump. But I have Rampage for that. I feel like Slam is such an arms thing too. Rampage has a 20% chance to immediately refund 20%. Okay, yeah. I do use Rampage a lot. And one more point. Maximum Rage. Defensive stance for like oh shit situations I need to run away. Switch stance. I can see myself helping out my teammates with this, so I'll get that. Alright, let's do this next. So, armed to the teeth, gain strength equal to 5% of your armor. Fudge, yeah. Wild strikes. Haste increased by 1%, and your auto attacks critical strikes increase your auto attack speed by 10% for 10 seconds. Not bad. Dual wield specialization increases your damage while dual wielding by 5%. I mean, shoot. That's almost like a must. I mean, what's the point of Fury if you're not going to dual wield, right? Let's see here. I got someone spamming my chat with like bullcrap. Wait a minute 1 second here. So I got like some bot spamming their stupid website. I need to like ban them or something. 1 second. That's an unfortunate. But let me look at this other thing as I'm pulling this up. Critical strike chance increases by 1%, and critical strike damage of execute increases by 5%. There's 2 points you can put in this, so that doubles it. Dang it, these are all good. Endurance training increases stamina by 5% and reduces duration of movement and parrying effects by 10%. They're all good. Hold on 1 second. I gotta remove this, block this person, hide that user. Let's see. I feel like I have to get that dual wield specialization, but it comes down to the bottom stuff, right? So what's this? Avatar. Transform into a Colossus for 20 seconds, causing you to deal 20% increased damage and removing all roots and snares. And then I can either choose Berserker's Torment, activating Avatar or Recklessness, cast the other at a reduced effectiveness, or Titan's Torment, activating Avatar, cast Odin's Fury, activating Odin's Fury, cast Avatar at reduced effectiveness. I get the Wild Strides, then I get Thunderous Roar. So roar explosively, dealing physical damage on enemies within 12 yards and cause them to bleed. Physical damage over 8 seconds. And after that I get Uproar, which Thunderous Roar's cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds. That's cool because originally is at 1.5 minutes, 1 minute and 30 seconds, so it brings it back to a minute. Or Thunderous Words increases the duration of Thunderous Roar's bleed effective by 2 seconds and increases damage of your bleed effects by 50% of all times. That one doesn't sound bad for raiding. Long fights, you know? Very long fights. I'm still thinking, okay, so Spear of Bastion. Throw a spear at the target's location, dealing damage and instantly an additional damage over time. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Enemies hit are chained to the spear's location for the duration. Spear of Bastion, instant damage increased by 50%, and its rage generation is increased by 100%. Elysian's Might, Spear of Bastion duration is increased by 2%. While you remain within the Spear of Bastion area, your critical strike damage is increased by 25%. This Spear of Bastion, I could be wrong when I say this. This sounds like a really good, effective PvE, like situational thing. Like we need to blow something up right now. So Shockwave, send a Shockwave force to frontal cone, causing damage and stunning all enemies. Rumbling Earth Shockwave, range increased by 6 yards, and when Shockwave strikes at least 3 targets, its cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. That's nice. Or Sonic Boom. Shockwave deals 350% increased damage and will always critically strike. That's dope. That is dope because it's not necessarily like a protection spec situational thing. This can be more. I could really see this as like I could use this as arms or fury like shockwave. You know how awesome that is? Dang. So it comes down to this stuff. Thunderous Roar is like a fat AoE. I'm basically focused on AoE spec this character at this point. Just because of how much fun I'm using them. Shit, this is a tough call. This is a really tough call. So I could go almost either way with this stuff. I can see myself using Thunderous Roar. See myself use Avatar. So it's just like flat extra damage. Because this is just another ability that I have to think about. This too and this too. I think I'd rather use this, so it's just like, I could just macro this with one of my current abilities. So I'll probably just do that. So, Berserker's Torment, activating Avatar Recklessness, cast the other at reduced effectiveness. Always activating Avatar, cast Odin's Fury. Activating Odin's Fury, cast Avatar at reduced. What is Odin's Fury? I feel like an idiot not knowing that. Odin's Fury, Odin's Fury, Odin's Fury, Odin's Fury, Odin's Fury. Oh, here's Odin's Fury. It's an instant attack that I have. It's right here. Unleash your power, dealing damage and additional damage over time. It's 45 seconds. Damn, that sucks. Not terrible, but both shield's longer. Put that there, but I'll still get it. Activate Avatar or Recklessness. Cast the others at reduced effectiveness. Let's do this on Odin's Fury. I got one more point. One more point. What can it be used on? Increase stamina reduces the duration of movement and parrying. I like that. Critical strikes. That. Or that. No, I don't like this. I got one more point. What can I use it in? Critical strikes chance increased by 1%. Critical strike damage of execute increased by 5%. I do use execute a lot, that's for sure. Increase haste by 1% in your auto attack strikes. Increase your auto attack speed by 10% for 10 seconds. I like passive stuff, that's for sure. Oh, which one to pick? Which one to pick? Which one to pick? Which one to pick? Tough call. I can always change this up, right? But I think I see myself. I like increasing my chance to crit every time. Alright, let's look at Fury. So automatically, Bloodlust, right? Assault the target in a bloodthirsty craze, dealing damage and restoring a little bit of health, right? 3.2 cooldown, right? Raging Blow, a mighty blow with both weapons that deals a certain amount of damage, has 3 charges right away. That's cool. With a 5-second cooldown, that's not bad at all. So this is where it starts branching off into a more specialized in them. So improved Enrage. Enrage increases your haste by 15% and increases your movement speed by 10%. That is dope. And this is more focused on bloodthirst damage, rather. Enrage regeneration. This is an ability I have to use every 2 minutes, but reduce damage taken by 30%, and Bloodthirst restores an additional 20% health. That's cool. Did I say Bloodlust? Bloodthirst restores an additional 20% health. Does it? It's already restoring 3%. The additional 20 is pretty dope. Usable while stunned, lasts 8 seconds. Dope. And I improve execute. Execute no longer costs rage and now generates 20 rage. Huh. Because execute. Oh, where did I put that execute? Attempt to finish off a wounded foe, causing damage. Only usable enemies with less than 35% health. So I will do... What's this? Improved Raging Blow. Dang. Raging Blow has 2 charges and has 20% chance to instantly reset its own cooldown. Alright, I like all of these abilities because what's down here? You take 10% reduced damage while Enrage is active. So, Enrage is a passive ability. Well, how did they change Enrage in this, by the way? Am I not going to be able to find it here? Enraged. Reduces damage taken by 30%. Okay. So... Enraged regeneration lasts 3 seconds longer and instantly heals for 20% of your maximum health. I like that. That is pretty cool. But actually, let's see. Oh, but you know, in order to get Rampage, I have to go down here. I don't have Rampage anymore. Fudge. Because I was really Rampage focused here, right? Somewhere. Gosh dang it. I thought there was something that like stacks the Rampage. While enraged, your auto attacks can no longer miss. That's cool. While enraged, the enraging blow deals additional damage, and Annihilator deals 10% increased damage. Oh my goodness, this is a tough call. Your attacks have a chance to reset cooldowns, execute, and make it usable on any target regardless of their health. Oh my goodness. Like, yes! Execute's so awesome! Execute's the coolest thing ever. So I'm like executing and Raging Blow focus right now. Because this branches off to Bloodthirst, but then I can't. Let's see here. Alright, so it says I have to have 3 points into something before I go further down. So it's either this, and I'm focused on Bloodthirst more. But I freaking love Rampage. Rampage is such a good dump into my excess rage. Otherwise I'm gonna be slamming. Alright, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get these abilities here. While in rage, Raging Blow deals extra damage. While in rage, your auto attacks can no longer miss. Alright. Not gonna think, just grab this stuff. Bloodthirst always... See, Bloodthirst always enrages you the first time you strike a target, and it has a 50% increased chance to trigger Enrage. So, yes, I want that. You take 10% reduced damage while enraged. That's pretty cool. Enraged regeneration lasts 3 seconds longer and instantly heals 20%, but that's only every 2 minutes. This is gonna be macroed, and I don't want it to be like 20% health right away. So I want that rampage so badly. Yes, we're getting rampage 100%. 100% getting rampage. Oh, dude, there's improved whirlwind. I've been like using whirlwind improvements over here. Wild Rage, Raging Blue, increase. Yes, improved whirlwind. So whirlwind causes your next 4 single target attacks strike up to 4 additional targets for 45% damage. World Rage generates 3 rage plus an additional 1 rage per hit, maximum 8 range. Yes. What's this? Meat Cleaver Whirlwind deals 20% more damage and now affects your next 4 single target attacks instead of the next 2. Yes. What's this? Ashen Juggernauts. Execute increases the critical strike chance of execute by 10% for 12 seconds. Stacking up to 5 times. Oh my goodness. Yes. Wrath and Fury. Raging Blow. Oh, this is Raging. Oh, yep. Raging Blow deals 50% increased damage, and while in range, Raging Blow has a 30% chance to instantly reset its own cooldown. Are you kidding me? So I already have these charges. Okay, yeah, give me. I'm not even looking at these because I'm seeing all this cool stuff already. Execute is now usable on targets below 30% health, and its cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds. Isn't that what it's supposed to do anyway? It's already below 5%. Am I reading that wrong? Oh, Massacre. Execute is now usable on targets below 35% health, and its cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds. I mean, I like the cooldown reduction. Raging Blow gains an extra charge. This is freaking cool. Yeah. So I have to spend 3 points somewhere over here. Frenzy. Rampage increases your haste by 2% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. This effect is reset if your rampage a different primary target. Each rampage strike has a 20% chance to refund your charge of Raging Blow or Slaughtering Strikes. Raging Blow causes every strike of your next rampage to deal an additional 20% damage, stacking up to 5 times. Annihilator causes every strike of your next rampage to deal an additional 2% damage, stacking up to 5 times. Let me look at this tree real quick. While in range, your auto attacks can no longer miss. Okay, got that. Single-minded Fury. While dual wielding a pair of one-handed weapons. One-handed weapons? Really? Your damage done is increased by 5% and your movement speed is increased by 5%. Interesting. This kind of encourages you to use one-handed weapons as Fury Warrior. Cold Steel, Hot Blood. Bloodthirst critical strikes generates 4 additional rage and inflicts a gushing wound that leeches health over 6 seconds. Not bad. That's pretty cool. I did not put this. Bloodthirst increased damage. This is kind of straying away from Bloodthirst though. Can I have something that's like better for Bloodthirst? Okay, this is Whirlwind. Auto attacks. Whirlwind. I'm sorry if I'm backtracking here. I'm just like totally forgetting what I'm doing. This is Raging Blow, so I stacked up on Raging Blow stuff. Rampage stuff, right? So I'm really like Rampage focus. Not, I mean, I used Bloodthirst, but it's not like I use it to increase my chance for to get it Rage. That's about it. Bloodthirst deals 20% increased damage to enemies who are below 35% health. Not bad. Frenzied Flurry, increase auto attack damage with one-handed weapon. Oh, no, I already read. It increases it. And critical strikes have a 50% chance to enrage you. That's cool. That's actually really good. Bleed damage on Odin's Fury, Thunder's Roar, and Gushing Wounds increase by 20%. So if you really focus on damage over time, this is kind of what the branch off you want to go to, apparently. Blood Craze. So Bloodthirst increases the critical strike chance of your next Bloodthirst by 15%, stacks up to 5 times. That's kind of cool. I mean, Bloodthirst is... It only hits so hard, you know? It's not like Execute. Execute always hits hard, man. So... Here's Recklessness, right? Go Berserk. Increases all rage generation by 100%. And granting your abilities 20% to increase critical strike. So this is... Recklessness is where it's at, so... I have to spend 3 points to get there. Bloodthirst. Do I want increased damage on Bloodthirst? It's not like a primary attack, but it helps me get to... It heals me in a bit, but... Rampage increases my haste for 12 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. I like that a lot. This, each Rampage strike has a 20% chance to refund a charge or raging blow. Raging blow causes every strike of your next Rampage to deal an additional 20% damage, stacking up to 5 times. Damn, this is really tough to pick. So I'm gonna pick this. I'm definitely gonna get Recklessness, and I need one more of something. Alright, extra speed, whatever. Okay. So if I was still on the left for whatever reason, I'll just read them out anyway. So Depth Experience, Mastery increased by 1%, and Bloodthirst cooldown reduced by, you get a cool by almost a second for Bloodthirst. Not bad. This is kind of like a really, Bloodthirst is really like survival. Like you just have a hard time dying, but it's not hard hitting. So it's really just good solo play. Swift Strides increases haste by 1%. Raging Blow generates an additional 1 rage, and Annihilator generates an additional 1 rage. This sounds stupid, but what the hell's Annihilator again? I don't even see it here. I don't even see Annihilator anymore. I just hear of it. Whatever. Alright, what if I check out this tree? Critical Thinking. Critical strikes chance increased by 1%, and Raging Blow and Annihilator's damage. Critical strikes deal 5% increased damage. So let's go down this tree. So Storm of Swords. Whirlwind has a 7-second cooldown, but deals 70% increased damage. So it's an instant ability, and I like it a lot. So Slam has a cooldown, it generates rage, but deals 10% increased damage. This is like, if you don't use his abilities that much, you gain a benefit. Here's Annihilator. Holy crap, I was looking for this. I was like, I feel stupid not knowing where this is. Okay. Replaces Raging Blow. Your auto attacks deal an additional physical damage and generates 4 rage. Got it. So it deals more damage and generates more rage. Odin's Fury. So unleashes your power, dealing damage and additional damage over time. With that, you can do Dancing Blades, which Odin's Furies increases your auto attack speed by 30% for 10 seconds, or Odin's Fury enrages you, and then greatly empowers Raging Blow for 6 seconds. Interesting. So if I go down here, Anger Management, every 20 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown of Recklessness by 1 second. Alright. Reckless Abandoned. Recklessness generates 50 rage and greatly empowers Bloodthirst and Raging Blow. Nice. Onslaught. Brutally attack an enemy for a good amount of damage. Ravager throws a whirling weapon at the target location that crashes nearby enemies, inflicting a shit ton of damage to all enemies over almost 10 seconds. Deals reduced damage beyond 8 targets. Interesting. So I found an Annihilator. I was read through all this, right? No, I didn't. Unbridled Ferocity. Rampage has a 20% chance to grant Recklessness for 4 seconds. Let me remind myself what Recklessness is. So that's Blood Rage. Recklessness, go Berserk, increases all rage generation by 100% and granting your abilities 20% increased critical strike for 12 seconds. I do like Recklessness because I don't have to worry about rage. Recklessness lasts 4 seconds longer. Or Rampage has a 20% chance to grant Recklessness. Tenderize. Onslaught enrages you, and enrage now lasts 1 second longer. Or there's 2 other abilities such as Storm of Steel, which Ravager's damage is reduced by 40%, but now has 2 charges and generates 15 rage each time it deals damage. Or you get Hurricane. While Ravager is active, every 0.8 seconds you gain 5% movement speed and 5% strength, stacking up to 6 times. Whew, let's see. So I might go this middle tier. I like the middle tier most for my playstyle. I'm a big fan of passive, so I can work. Well, all these are passive. So it increases haste by 2%. Raging Blow generates an additional 2 rage, and Annihilator generates an additional 2 rage. Then I could get Odin's Fury here. I'm at 2 points now. So, I don't know if I'll get the very, very bottom of the stuff here. Well, I can. Yeah, because I want Rampage has a 20% chance to grant Recklessness for 4 seconds. Well, Recklessness, how long does Recklessness last already? 12 seconds? That's plenty. I'd rather have a lot of Recklessness going on top of like that. So I just rage reduces remaining cooldown of Recklessness for 1 second. Yeah. 1.5 minute cooldown, but I could reduce its cooldown every 20 rage I get. Yeah, I like this. Okay. I got my Fury Warrior set up now. Next is going to be Protection Spec. See how I like that. So that was a long one for Fury. That was a long one. But this is fun. Let's check out Protection Spec. I need some water real quick. Get swig. Here's the cookie cutter that it gives you. All great, dandy, and all that stuff. But if I was just like totally focused on Protection Spec and doing my job as a tank, You know, I have to like really focus on this kind of stuff. Do I want to stand stance as a tank? Not really. I probably just stance defensive stance. Because normally when I tank, it's always going to be in a group raiding, and I'm just focusing on my job. So of course, um, I think they give me both already. Okay, kind of cool. I like that. I agree with that. I do like that a lot because I could probably get all this stuff, huh? So immediately, War Machine, your auto attacks generate 50% more rage. Killing an enemy instantly generates 10 rage and increases your movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. Yes. Let me just go across so everyone knows what's going on, especially for protection warriors back people. Berserker Rage. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity for fear, sap, and incapacitated effects for 6 seconds, 1 minute cooldown. This is great to get out of a sticky situation. I like it a lot. Impending Victory. Instantly attack the target. This replaces Victory Rush, so I don't necessarily need this. I'm happy with Victory Rush as it is. Which Victory Rush strikes the target, causing damage and healing for 20% of your maximum health. While this, it replaces it, but it's 30% of it, right? Don't necessarily need it right now. Intervene. Yes, I do need this as a tank. Run at high speed towards an ally, intercepting all melee and range attacks against them. Most groups I'm in, someone pulls aggro. It happens, and I just have to go in there. Rally Cry, 3-minute cooldown. What I hate about Rally Cry is let loose or Rally Cry, granting all party raid members within 40 yards 15% temporary and maximum health for 10 seconds? Like 10 seconds of maximum health, I really have to pay attention when I use that cooldown. And that's like at a raid where I know a boss is going to do something crazy and I have to remember to use this ability. I hate abilities I have to like really think about. But for tanking reasons, it's like I can't macro this with anything really. 3-minute cooldown is such a ugh. For 10 seconds? At least give me like 15. Alright, what's below it? Inspiring Presence. Rally Cry duration is increased by 3 seconds and grants a further 5% maximum health. So more health, more duration. Or second one, restores 6% health every 1 second when you have not taken damage for 5 seconds. This is out of combat, really. That's a big maybe. Big maybe. Leeching Strikes. Leeching increased by 5%. Yeah, you want to get health over time. 100% grabbing that. Spell Reflection. Raise your shield. Reflect the first spell cast on you and reduce magic damage you take by 20% for 5 seconds. Yes, I want that. As a tank, yes I do. Movement speed increased by 5%. Not necessary for a PvE tank, which I will primarily be. If I was a PvP tank, that sounds good to me. I would like that a lot. Not necessary as a tank. Berserker Shout. This also removes fear effects from a group. So this is great for like, oh snap situations, right? Oh crap. Piercing Howl is snares all enemies within 12 yards, reducing their movement speed by 70% for 8 seconds. So, as a tank, this is a strong maybe to have Berserker Shout. If I really need to spend points, I will look into that. But if I get it, I can look at Frothrend Berserker, which Revenge has a 20% chance to immediately refund 50% of the rage spent. Wow. I do like that a lot. Because I don't need Heroic Leap as a tank that much. I'll use it. It's not that important to me. I don't need Intimidation. I could use it. Definitely PvP, but PvE, like I would use it. Because below they cower so they don't run away. So it's great crowd control. Oh man, that's strong maybe. But I know with like Thunderclap I would use black, it's an AoE, right? So that helps with like holding all the aggro. So I have to get it no matter what. Furious Blows, then I can look at all this other stuff that I will need. I know I will get that. Well, let's get Berserker Shout just to spend these points, right? 100% going to get this. Revenge. 20% chance, immediately refund. Rage spent. Okay, so let's go down to this next tier of stuff. This right side is really focused on protection spec. So concussive blow, cooldown of pummel reduced by 1 second. Successful interruption of an enemy increases the damage you deal them by 5 seconds. Water, sorry, my voice is going away. That is very good for PvP. PvE, I could probably see myself using it. Now, if it said increases the damage everyone deals by 5% for 10 seconds, 100% PvE, I'd get it. 100%. But for just me as a tank, I'm not focused on damage dealing. No, I'll have to pass on that. So, Barbaric Training, Revenge deals 25% increased damage, but now costs 10 more rage. Okay, I don't need to focus on damage, I just need to hold aggravation. Overwhelming Rage, maximum rage increased by 15, goes up to 30 with an extra talent point, maybe. As far as move up, okay, hold on, let me... Why are these so broken? Why do I have not like tank stuff on? These need some crap. Interesting. This is just the second character, people. Second main. So Thunderbolt, hurling the weapon at an enemy, causing damage, and so stunning them is dope. But that's very PvP. I'm definitely using PvE, but what do I get? Sidearm, your auto attacks have a 20% chance to hurl weapons at your target and 3 other enemies in front of you, dealing additional damage. That's not really a priority. It really is not. Menace, Intimidating Shout will knock back all your enemies except your primary target and cause them all to cower in fear instead of fleeing, right? Not really. Intimidating Shout can withstand 200% more damage before breaking. Not bad. I would love that for PvP though. Pain and Gain. When you take any damage, heal for 4.5% of your maximum health. This can occur every 10 seconds. That is like hardcore tank style stuff. I 100% will get that. Shield Slam deals an additional 5% damage and deals 5% increased critical strike. I'm not focused on damage as a tank. But if I have to spend points, I'll look into that. Wrecking Throw, hurl your weapon at an enemy, causing physical damage, ignoring armor. This is a 45-second cooldown though. Deals up to 500% increased damage to absorb shields. Shattering Throw, hurl your weapon to an enemy, causing 2000 damage, ignoring armor, and removing any magical immunities. So this is like against a paladin, right? These two, well, this is very PvP, right? This one, not so much. I mean, definitely can be, 100%. I just like the ignoring armor part. Every 45 seconds, I feel like my dumbass would always forget to use it. I'd use it if like just to pull an enemy, and that's all I'm gonna remember to use it. Not 100% needed. So yeah, I just went down through all that. So I might have to pick this stuff up here. So either Crackling Thunder, which Thunderclap radius is increased by 50% and it reduces movement speed by 20%. a little good crowd control. Or Blood and Thunder, which Thunderclap deals 10% increased damage, and if you have Rend, Thunderclap affects 5 nearby targets. I don't think I'll have Rend on this character. I don't see it. Don't have it on yet. I'll probably end up getting that. Before I waste talent points, let's see. Reinforced plates armor increased by 20%, 100%. Yeah. No debate in that. Cooldown of Shield Slam and Pummel reduced by 1 second. It's not more about the Pummel, but also Shield Slam. Pummel's a great benefit for PvE. 100% would use it. What's Shield Slam at right now? So 6.4%? Yes. Alright, so I have to use other points. So I told myself I want the Crackling Thunder, increase the radius. So look at all this other stuff I get. Double Time increases the maximum number of charges on charge by 1 and reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. I did use that as a tank a lot. I like charges. Charges is fun. Titanic Throw replaces Heroic Throw, which is... Where did my Heroic Throw go? It's right here. Throw your weapon at the enemy, causing damage, and it generates a high amount of threat. So it's great for pulling something, right? So for this, you throw your weapon at the enemy, causing damage, and 5 nearby enemies. Okay. I mean, if there's a mob, I'd rather just pull one and Thunderclap to hold up all that aggravation, right? These talent points are a huge commodity. Seismic Reparation. So if Whirlwind or Revenge hits 3 or more enemies, it hits them 1 additional time for 30% damage. So this is very damage focused and stuff. So I'll go in and grab this, and I'll get Crushing Blow. Crushing Force. I don't know why I call it Crushing Blow. So there's that. After you spend 3 more points on something. So let's go with what's the movement speed? Not totally needed. Your auto attacks at 20% chance to hurl weapon. Not really. I can see myself using Thunderbolt. And Overwhelming Rage, sure, let's use that. Let's get that. Okay, so next tier of stuff. I think earlier when I was on Fury, I'll say showing the focus on this right side is very favors prospect. But let me go over here, because there's some things like Arm to the Teeth, gain strength equal to 2% of your armor. I'm probably gonna really want to get that. Then there's Avatar, transform into a Colossus for 20 seconds, causing you to deal 20% increased damage and removing all roots and snares. So that's really damage focused. Immovable object, activating Avatar and Shield Wall cast. The other are reduced effectiveness. Or Unstoppable Force, Avatar increase the damage out of your Thunderclap and Shockwave by 50%, and reduces the cooldown of Thunderclap by 50%. That's really cool. But I'd have to go here and then focus on maxing this down. Wild Strikes, haste increased by 1%, and your auto attacks, critical strikes, increase your auto attack speed by 10% for 10 seconds. This goes up to 2 points in, so you double all those effects. If I want Thunderous Roar, do I really want this as a tank? An explosive, dealing a good amount of physical damage to enemies within 12 yards and cause them to bleed. This, oh, okay, I get a bleed effect here, which I could have used for this, right? For Blood and Thunder. That's a lot of things to pay attention to, that and that. Thunderous Roar cooldown reduced by 30 seconds, and Thunderous Wounds increases the duration of Thunderous Roar bleed effect by 2 seconds and increases the damage of your bleed effects by 50% at all times. So if I really wanted to be more of an AoE tank, this would probably be the thing to get. Not my style of gameplay. Maybe there's others who could probably utilize it. It might be awesome. I don't know. I don't want to judge it too much right now. One hand weapon specialization. So damage one hand weapons and leech increased by 5%. You got me on the leech. Got me on the leech. So I have to get it. Cruel strikes. Critical strikes chance increased by 1%, and critical strike damage of execute increased by 5%. Do I really need that as a tank? No, but what does Spear of Bastion have? So Spear of throws a spear at the target location, dealing more than 3,000 damage instantly, and an additional almost 4,000 damage for 4 seconds. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. So it's a good AoE thing to have. I'm not damage focused as a tank. I just want to hold aggravation, have more armor and stuff. Spear of Bastion, instant damage increased by 50%, and its rage generation is increased by 100%, or Elysian Might. Spear of Bastion duration is increased by 2%. While you remain within Spear of Bastion area, your critical strike damage is increased by 25%. But I'm probably going to come here. Endurance training, stamina increased by 5%, and the duration of fear, sap, and incapacitated effects on you is reduced by 10%. That's a good additional bonus, but that, you sold me already at stamina increase at 5%. Then I'll have Shockwave, sudden force of frontal cone, causes damage and stunning all nearby enemies within 16 yards for 2 seconds. I like that. Rumbling Earth, Shockwave range is increased by 6 yards, and when Shockwave strikes at least 3 targets, its cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds. What is it at right now? 40 seconds? Shockwave deals 350% increased damage, and it will always crit. That's kind of cool, but how necessary is it? I will think on that as I spend money points on this. Shockwave. But I do want to put 2 points into Arm to the Teeth, so gain strength equal to 2% of your armor. Very tank focused. So, do I want Avatar? No, I don't need to increase damage. I'd rather have a less cooldown of my Shockwave. So bam, warrior points, focused for protection. Alright, let me get a sip of water, and then I'll go focus on the protection tree. For those of you who are watching this video currently on the stream, I hope you guys like, subscribe, all that jazz stuff. Please subscribe, and I hope you follow me on Twitch. My Twitch numbers are really low. I have higher numbers on my YouTube, so some of you YouTubers, please go to Twitch and just click follow for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Alright, enough with that plug. So let's go focus on protection tree. 25 points available. So automatically ignore pain, cost 35 rage, fight through the pain, ignore 55% of damage taken, up to over 7,000 total damage prevented. Dope. No matter what, revenge. Swing in a wide arc, dealing 1,000 damage to all enemies in front of you. Oh, excuse me, I burped. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Your successful dodges and parries have a chance to meet your next revenge cost 0. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Your next revenge costs no rage. Okay, so this is where it branches out a little bit. I'll read one, and then I'll read what's underneath it directly. So, Demoralizing Shout, 45-second cooldown. Demoralizing Shout, all enemies within 15 yards, reducing their damage they deal to you by 25% for 8 seconds. That's pretty cool. Then, Improved Heroic Throw. Heroic Throw deals 100% increased damage and inflicts deep wounds, so there's a bleed. Okay, maybe. If I was really into that AoE spec that I was talking about earlier for Blood and Thunder, I would add to that. Or Best Served Cold, which Revenge deals 10% more damage or 20% more damage with your successful dodges or parries have made it cost no rage. Not bad, not bad. Devastator replaces Devastate. Your auto attacks deal an additional damage and have a 20% chance to reset the remaining cooldown of Shield Slam. Like, damn, yeah, man. Because Shield Slam, well, I don't know if they changed Shield Slam, because Shield Slam used to be a thing that, like, holds a lot of aggravation. But if it's just damage focus, so slam your target with your shield causing, like, 2,000 damage, right? Before it used to be like generates rage. Yeah, generates 18 rage. No, threat. What am I saying? Rage. Generates threat. Unless, what is it? Strategist, Devastate, Thunderclap, Revenge, and Execute have a 30% chance to reset the remaining cooldowns on Shield Slam. I guess, let me just see what this has here. Last Stand increases maximum health by 30% for 15 seconds and instantly heals you for that amount. Yes, gonna want that for boss fights. Using Shield Slam increases the damage of Shield Slam by 5% for 16 seconds and increases the amount of damage you block by 5%, stacking up to 5 times. Yes, 100%, I want that more block. Last Stand increases your rage generation by 50%. I like that. That way I can be like spending what I need, but 100% getting that. No debate. Demoralizing Shout. I like that. And of course, more damage when. So Revenge deals 10% more damage or 20% more damage when you successfully dodge or parry have made it cost no rage. The wording on that is throwing me off. But I have to spend 3 points. And I feel like this has threat generation, although it doesn't say it. This replaces Devastate. What's Devastate currently? It's Devastate. It's like bugged. I can't see what Devastate is. So I'm gonna assume that it does. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not wrong. That this generates threat. So let's go down the list. This little tree here, this group bunch here. So, Challenging Shout taunts all enemies within 10 yards to attack you for 6 seconds. Okay, that's kind of cool. Disrupting Shout, which replaces Challenging Shout, taunts all enemies within 14 yards to attack you for 6 seconds, interrupts all spell casting within 14 yards, and prevents any spell in that school from being cast for 6 seconds. That's a dope PvP ability. I mean, I could totally use it in PvE, but for PvP, you just like super obnoxious. That's awesome though. Show of Force. Revenge damage increased by 10%. Revenge chance that the damage of your next thunderclap increased by 20%. Okay. Sudden Death. Your attacks have a chance to make your next execute cost no rage. Be usable on any target regardless of their health and deal damage as if you spent 40 range. I'm not going to be executing much as a tank. It's not really my job. Thunderlord. Increase the radius of Demoralizing Shout by 5 yards. Each enemy hit by Thunderclap reduces the remaining cooldown on Demoralizing Shout by 1 second up to 3 seconds. So 3 second cooldown off a 45 second ability. Up to 3 seconds. That's like not even worth it. Heavy repercussions. Can't even read. Heavy repercussions. Shield Slam generates 2 more rage and extends the duration of shield block by 1 second. Whoa, the duration of shield block is big. That's a... Damn. All these other... I mean, I could use them. I mean, I'd go here, and get that. Oh, man. And extends duration. So Shield Slam and have shield block, right? That's a good rotation. That's a really good rotation. And there's 2 charges on shield block now. Into the Fray. You gain 2% haste for each enemy or ally within 10 yards, up to 10% haste. Okay. Shoot. So, these next 3 abilities that come to shield wall. So let's see. Instigate. Devastate deals 20% increased damage and generates 2 rage. Devastator deals 10% increased damage and generates 1 rage. Here's Ren, bleed effect. I would have to like redo everything for Thunderclap for this to be like an AoE tank. Wounds the target, causes physical damage instantly and additional damage over time. Or I could go Blood Surge. Your bleed effects have a chance to grant you 5 rage. I'm not focused on bleed effects as a tank. I could. Interesting playstyle. This is where it all begins from when I was reading through all this about like Ren and Blood and Thunder. Like this is where damage over time and Thunder work very well together. But I might would have to do Instigate to get Shield Wall. Shield Wall 3.5 minute cooldown, reduces all damage you take by 40%. So this is another oh snap situation with a boss. So I'd probably have to hit like my oh snap situation macro somewhere that combines with Last Stand. Strong possibility I'm going to go here. There's a good chance I will. But let's check out what these two abilities are. So fueled by violence, I should say. You are healed for 50% of the damage dealt by deep wounds. Right, so I don't even know if I have deep wounds. Deep wounds is kind of like a version of Ren, but I'm just checking to see if it's anywhere else here. But after you crit something, it has another bleed of its own. Or Brutal Vitality. 30% of the damage you deal adds to your active ignore pain. Oh yeah, I want that 100%. Good chance I might get this one, but I'll see what else I have. And I can go straight to Shield Wall without having to really get this. Let's see what Bolster has. Last Stand cooldown is reduced by 60 seconds. What is Last Stand? So 3 minutes. So I take off a minute. And grants you the shield block effect for its duration. Oh, cool. That's really cool. Tough as nails. Blocking attack deals 600 physical damage to the attacker, ignoring armor. Generates high threat. You see, it tells you there that it generates great threat, and I like that. I like that. Strong possibility I'm going to grab that. Spell block. You are able to block spells for 20 seconds. Cool, but I'd rather have tough as nails. Something that generates high threat. Bloodborne. Passive. Deep wounds, brand and thunderous roar, bleed effects. Deal 10% increased damage. No, don't need it. I read down these. Let's see. I read these two, but I didn't read. After Shield Wall, there is Endurance Defense. Shield block lasts 2 seconds longer. What is it at right now? 6 seconds? Okay, so like an additional 8 seconds. Massacre Execute is now usable on targets below 30% health. I'm not going to execute much as a tank. Anger Management. Every 10 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown on Avatar and Shield Wall by 1 second. The Shield Wall part I like. So every 10 rage I spend brings down Shield Wall. That is cool. Let's see. Unbreakable Will. Shield Wall gains 1 additional charge and grants 50% of its effect to all party members. Oh, Shield Wall grants 1 additional. So it grants 50% of its effect to all party members, so everyone gets a Shield Wall. Everyone takes reduce all damage you take by it for them to be 20% for 8 seconds. That's kind of cool. Damn, that's actually really cool. Impenetrable Wall. Shield Slam generates an additional 3 rage and reduces the remaining cooldown of Shield Wall by 5 seconds. So a lot of Shield Wall, or does everyone get Shield Wall? What is better? So Shield Wall gets an additional 1 charge, so that means I can use it twice. Or Shield Slam generates an additional 3 rage, okay, and reduces the remaining cooldown shield wall by 5 seconds. So every time I Shield Slam, I shave off 5 seconds of its cooldown. Or 2 charge. I think I'd rather have 2 charges, honestly. Damn, these are so good. Let me go through these and I'll start making my picks. I already read these, right? Yes, I did. I did not read this. Punish. Shield Slam deals 10% increased damage and reduces enemies' damage against you by 3% for 3 seconds. Multiple punishments may overlap. Damn, I like that. A Juggernaut Execute increases execute damage dealt by 3% for 20 seconds, stacking up. Okay, I don't need that. All right, so I have 11 points. 100% getting shield wall. Make my shield block last longer. And shield block gets an additional charge. While this, I'm 100% getting tough as nails. Last Stand cooldown is reduced by 60 seconds and grants the shield block effect for its addition. So Last Stand. I'm sorry, this is Last Stand. I have to spend 7 points on deep wounds. No, don't care about that. Definitely getting that. Getting that. Every 10 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown of shield wall by 1 second. So that's a lot of shield wall, you know? Last Stand increases your rage by 50. Increases your rage by 50. Generation by 50%. Oh, I don't remember how bad rage generation was for this. I have to spend 5 points, so I'll get Anger Management. Challenging Shout. I'll get the Disrupting Shout. Wait. Is that what I wanted? Or increases the radius of your demoralizing shout by 5 yards. Actually, I was not too impressed by that. Yeah, I'll get that. Because I wanted the Shield Slam generates 2 more rage and extends the duration of shield block by 1 second. Because I really wanted that. And, okay, so it's either Unnerving Focus or Devastator deals 10% increased damage and generates 1 rage. Last, no, I don't need that. That's worried about bleed. I don't want a bleed effect. I don't need it as a tank. So Last Stand increases your Last Stand. I can use every 2 minutes and increased rage, or Devastator generates rage. I think it generates rage is good enough for me. So let's open this up. So what do we get? Either Focus Vigor, which increases strength and armor by 5% and your critical strike chance by 1%. I like the armor part of this as a tank. So let me see what it comes with. If I were to pick, well, I don't necessarily need to pick it, because if I pick whatever this is, I get this. But let me see what shield charge is. So 45-second cooldown for charge to an enemy with your shield. So does it replace charge? Dealing damage to it and all enemies within 10 yards. Also stuns the primary target for 4 seconds. That's kind of cool. I would love that for PvP though. But after that, you have battery and RAM, so shield charge, critical strike chance, and critical strike damage increase by 50%, and the shield charge increases your auto attack speed by 20% of your. Let me say that again. Shield charge, critical strike chance, and critical strike damage increase by 50%, and shield charge increases your auto attack speed by 20% for 20 seconds. Pretty cool. I like that a lot. It's very PvP. Thing is, I already have 2 charges though. You root them for a second. So would I really need it? I like the stun. I mean, it's like having another charge, I guess. What's this? Champion's Bulwark. So shield charge deals 20% increased damage. Grants you shield block. Cool. Revenge. And generates an additional 20 range. I noticed that there's revenge with an exclamation point on here, so I think that they missed that or something. That's funny. What's this? Shield specialization. Increases block chance by 6% and your block value by 15%. Dude, 100%. Not going to argue with myself. I don't care what other channels there are. I'm spending 2 points on that. There's just no getting around to that. That's just too good. Booming Voice. Demoralizing Shout also generates 30 rage. Cool. And increases damage you deal to affected targets by 20%. I like that just have 30 rage off the get-go. That's cool. Indomitable. Your maximum health is increased by 10%. And every 10 rage you spend heals you for 1% of your maximum health. Ah. I like that a lot. Violent Outburst. Consuming 30 rage grants a stack of Seeing Red, which transforms at 8 stacks into Violent Outburst and causes your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap to deal 200% increased damage and generate 100% more rage and grant Ignore Pain. You sold me at grant Ignore Pain at the very end, man. You really got it. Damn, that's really good, because at the very end you get Battle Scarred Veteran, which your health is brought below 30%, you take 80% less damage for 8 seconds, and healing you receive is increased by 100%. Can occur once every 2 minutes. No, 3 minutes, I'm sorry. That higher math, sorry. Like, fudge, I want to... Damn, I only got 3 points available? 1, 2, something like that. Damn, all these are good. All of those are good. What is it? Okay, what's this? So, endurance, increased stamina and armor. Fudge, I like that. Ravager throws a whirling weapon at the target location and chases nearby enemies, inflicting 10,000 physical damage to all enemies over 9 seconds. Dealing reduced damage beyond 8 targets. Don't care too much about that. Dance of Death. If your Ravager helps kill an enemy, it lasts 2 seconds longer and deals 20% increased damage. This effect also applies to future Ravagers for the next 2 minutes. Storm of Steel. Ravager damage is reduced by 40%, but it now has 2 charges and generates 15 rage each time you deal damage. So this is really a good rage building ability. I'm not too psyched about it. I'm more psyched about this middle area, and I wish I could get all of these plus this. So I gotta figure out what's the best of these abilities. Okay, Demoralizing Shout, 30 rage off the get-go. But damn it, dude. This is also important. Increased stamina and armor by 5%. So this has to be in the equation. Your maximum health is increased by 10%. This is passive. And every 10 range you spend, you heal for 1%. So you're just staying alive. Battle Scarred Veteran sounds so awesome, man. Like those crap situations and raids and mythics, man. And you're just like, you're a tank and you just took a hard hit. That was, oh my gosh, that's a clutch ability. That is a clutch ability. Consuming 30 rage. Consuming 30 rage, a stack seeing red. Violet outburst, causing your next shield slam with thunderclap. I don't care about the damage, but it's nice. Generate 100% more rage and grant ignore pain. Off the get-go. With that, oh boy, let's see. Increases stamina and armor by 5%. Oh man, these are really good. I might. No, I couldn't ditch out one of these, huh? They were forcing me to spend. Yeah, damn it. I just screwed that up. What was it? This. This is a tough call. Increase stamina and armor by 5%. Every 10 rage you spend, you heal for. Oh man, I have a lot of rage generating abilities too. So this is. I'd be staying alive so much. Oh man. Consuming 30 range grants a stack. And this is passive too. Okay, which one do I absolutely have to have? Okay, I think Booming Voice, although it's really good, I'm not gonna get that. I have to pick my two favorites out of these, and this is a really hard choice. I think 100% I'm going with this. Increase your maximum health and health over time with the rage I spend. And I'm getting Battle Scarred Veteran. So I have 1 point left. Increase strength and armor by 5%. Be nice to have. I can't. Increase stamina by 5% and armor. I have ignore pain. A lot of it. Wait. Your next shield slam deals a lot of damage, generates 100% more rage, and grant ignore pain. Which means I can be in a cycle where I'm just so much rage, and I have ignore pain. Yeah, I'll go with this. Alright everyone, that is my talent tree for protection spec. I have one more to go through, and it takes me like 40 minutes of me rambling about this stuff. So I'm going to put in the comment section of where I start talking about certain things. So let's no, not Fury. I need to look at arms next. Let's look at arms. So if you're here for arms, this is for you. This is their cookie cutter on arms. I am going to make the attempt to go through this faster. And really focus more on arms. But I don't know. So let's reset this. So clearly, if I was an armed warrior, two-handed weapon person, I mean, I already start off with 2 stances, right? No. I start off with battle stance, but I am not given a defense stance, which I'm not going to spend talent points on, because then I don't need intervene, which, you know, run at a high speed towards an ally, interrupting all melee attacks and range attacks against them for 6 seconds while they're within 10 yards, or am I going to use Rally Cry, which let loose a Rally Cry, granting all parties or raid members within 40 yards 15% temporary maximum health. 10 seconds. I don't care about that. War Machine. Your auto attacks generate 10% more rage. Kill an enemy instantly generates 10 rage and increases your movement speed by 30%. Like, yes, 100%. I want that as an armed warrior. Now, impending victory. So I already have Victory Rush. It's not showing. It's still showing impending, whatever, for whatever reason. Basically, here in impending victory, it's which replaces Victory Rush. Instantly attack an enemy, causing almost 1,000 damage and healing for 30% of your maximum health. Victory Rush is 20%. That's, I don't think I would have that, but I'd rather have Berserker Rage, which go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to fear, sap, and incapacitated effects for 6 seconds. So that's a huge yes for me. Next, Leech, 5%. Yes, it's always nice to be doing damage and getting healed back. That's always sweet. Berserk and Shout. So it's this also removes the effects from my group for 12 yards, or I could put a snare on all enemies within 12 yards, removing their speed by 70% for 8 seconds. Or I can increase my movement speed by 5 seconds. It's always nice. Or raise your weapon, spell reflection, which raise your weapon reflecting the first spell cast on you and reduce the magic damage you take by 20%. I will use that a lot for sure as an arms warrior, 100%. And I'm thinking more in terms of PvE, by the way, but I will mention some PvP stuff too. As an arms warrior for, let's see, auto attack speed increased by 5%. Yes, 100%. Thunderclap as an arms warrior. Do they have bleed effects here somewhere? There is Rend. If I want to be one of those Rend Thunderclap type warriors, kind of makes me like an AoE warrior, but how important is that? How important is it for a warrior to be focused on Thunderclap and Rend? But I will think about that, because I do like the movement impairment effect of Thunderclap. Intimidating Shout. I can see myself using this as an arms warrior. Just making 5 enemies flee away from me. Heroic Leap. I love jumping around. It's always nice. I'm 100% going to use it. I will. Bothering Berserker. Mortal Strike and Cleave have a 20% chance to immediately refund 20% of your range shot. So, Immortal Strike is like the primary ability. That is the macro I have on it. So Immortal Strike, 2-hand weapon, a vicious strike that deals a ton of damage and reduces the effectiveness of its healing on the target by 50% for 10 seconds. I do like that. So Immortal Strike have a 20% chance of immediately refunding 20% of your rage spent. Yeah. So do I either want increased movement speed or a snare or remove fear effects from my group? I like moving fast, but I think this will help my team. And I do want that. 100%. So this just opened up a lot more for me until I can come here. So I have to spend 12 points all around here. Wrecking Throw. So hurl your weapon at an enemy for almost 2,000 damage. Deals up to 5% increased damage and fills an absorbed shield. This also ignores pain. This does a lot of similarities. Like Wrecking Throw, however, removing any magical immunity, so this is great against a paladin, right? But this is so PvP. I don't need it. I'm a more of a PvE person. So, Slam. Slam as an arms warrior. Do I even have Slam on here? As arms. I don't remember if Slam is on here. Yes. I'm gonna put Slam right here. I'm gonna put Mortal Strike. Mortal Strike. So Slam! Do a lot of damage to an opponent. Cost 30 rage. This is an ability that I just dump my rage to. When I have too much rage, it's where I'm gonna dump it to. So do I want to be a arms warrior that can focus on just doing slam if I have too much rage. So generating a lot of rage, and I like hitting things with slam. Strong maybe. Let me think on that one more. What else is there? When you take any damage, heal for almost 5% of your health. 100% yes. 100%. I did this Intimidating Shout. Can withstand 200% more damage before breaking, or Intimidating Shout will knock back all enemies except the primary one. And instead of them fleeing, they just cower. More rage for overwhelming rage, maximum rage up to 32 points. Slam and Whirlwind deal 30% more damage and now they now cost 10 more rage on top of its already 40 rage. Or cooldown on pummel reduced by 1 second. Successfully interrupting an enemy increases the damage you deal to them by 5% for 10 seconds. That's really good for PvP. I could also use it greatly for PvE, but it's not something I would consistently be using a lot. It's not something I'm always looking for, especially when a lot of raid bosses are immune to such an ability. So, I'm going to say no to that. I'm still thinking if I want to be a slam warrior. Slam armed warriors, because side on your auto attacks have a 20% chance to hurl a weapon at a target and 3 other enemies in front of you, dealing additional damage. This is great for dungeon running when there's a lot of mobs, kind of like an AoE thing, where it's just like random damage comes out. This is not bad for like if I really have to spend a talent point and it's just like whatever. Stormbolt, stunning something for 4 seconds. I do like this. I'm getting it. I do like it. Armor increased by 20%, 100%. Reduces the cooldown of your Heroic Leap, and Heroic Leap now has increased your run speed by... I love Heroic Leap so much. Cooldown of your Overpower and Pummel reduced by what is Overpower at right? 11 seconds. Let's get it. Bitter Immunity restores 20% of your health and instantly removes all diseases, poisons, and whatnot on you. I'll think on that. So double time increases the maximum number of charges on charge by 1 and reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. Yes, I like that. So Blood and Thunder, deal extra damage with Thunderclap. And if I have Rend on, which is over here, it affects 5 nearby enemies, or Thunderclap's radius increased by 50% and reduces the movement speed by 20%. This is very AoE PvE, I'd say. I wouldn't use it for PvP much, maybe. This is more for PvP for sure. I'd use this for PvP. Just charging their Thunderclap everyone. Everyone's slower now. Titanic Throw, so throw your weapon at the enemy, causing a small amount of damage to it, and 5 nearby enemies, which generates a high amount of threat. The current one, all you do is throw it, causes a lot of threat. That's all you're using it for. It's just pull aggro towards you. You're pulling a mob towards you. This just means it hits 5 nearby enemies. Who cares? Just throw it, let them come to you. Thunderclap. This is just more for a tank, so this don't matter to me. If Whirlwind hits 3 or more enemies, hits them with additional. Okay, let me read this. Seismic reverberation. If Whirlwind hits 3 or more enemies, it hits them 1 additional time for 70% damage. So, Whirlwind is another rage dump because it costs 40 rage. It costs 40 rage, so I'm thinking, how badly do I want this? I have to have 6 points soon, so as I'm thinking, okay, I will. Slam and Whirlwind deal. Okay, so this benefits both Slam and Whirlwind. Deal 30% more damage, but now cost 10 more rage. Okay, you know what? I'll get this. I'll pump up Crushing Force for more Slam damage. And I'll benefit Whirlwind. And I have to spend 2 more points, so I either be Overwhelming Rage. So I can have a bunch of rage. Bitter immunity, not bad. I mean, I like it. But I'd rather have a crap ton of rage. Or this here too, maybe? There hurls a weapon. Nothing says I can't get one of each, right? So let's do that. Okay, so for arms, alright, let me just go through this next tier of stuff, right? Arm to the teeth, gain strength equal to 5% of your armor. With that, I get Avatar transform into a Colossus for 20 seconds, causing you to get 20% increased damage and removing all roots. They have a 20% increase in damage. That's really good. Blade Master Torment, activating Avatar or Bladestorm casts the other to reduce the effectiveness. So they don't really word this properly. Activating Avatar or Colossus Smash casts Recklessness at reduced effectiveness. While strikes haste increased by 1% and your auto attacks, critical strikes increase your auto attack speed by 10% for 10 seconds. I do like that. Two-handed weapon specialization increases your damage while using two-handed weapons by 5%. Automatic, yes. So I have 5 points to spend. Cool strikes. Critical strikes increased by 1% and critical strikes damage of execute increased by 5%. I noticed there's not a lot of this is the first emphasis on execute, and I can bring this up to 10%. There might be more, yeah, there's more emphasis later. Enduring training, stamina increased by 5%, and the duration of fear, sap, and incapacity effects on you is reduced by 10%. I'm sorry, let me go into Wild Strike. So, Thunderous Roar. Roar explosively deals 3,000 damage to enemies within 12 yards and causes them to bleed for 3,500 damage over 8 seconds. That's pretty good. Thunderous Roar cooldown reduces by 30 seconds because it's originally 1.5 minutes, so it brings it down to 1 minute. Or Thunderous Wounds increase the duration of Thunderous Roar bleed effect by 2 seconds and increases the damage of your bleed effectiveness by 15%. So if you really like this damage over time stuff, and AoE-ish, that's a good move. Spirit Bastion for a cooldown of 1.5 minutes. Let me get some more water. Throw Spear at the target location, dealing over 3,000 damage instantly and additional over 3,000 damage for 4 seconds. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. So if there's more than 5 targets, it doesn't do as much damage. So it's just an AoE big hit. With that, the Spirit Bastion instant damage increased by 50% and its rage generation is increased by 100%. That's good. A lot of rage. Or Spirit Bastion duration is increased by 2 seconds while you remain within the Spirit Bastion area. Your critical strike damage is increased by 25%. So this is great for I need to do a lot of crit damage or I need to do a lot of rage generation for my abilities. Or I could do a Shockwave Arms Warrior, which, you know, I Shockwave enemies in front of me and stun them for 2 seconds, and then Shockwave, increasing the range, reduce its cooldown, so I can use it every every 25 seconds versus 40 seconds. Or Shockwave deals 3,500 increased damage, you know, always crit. But it only does 300 damage, so it's decent. And guaranteed to crit and stun. I would love that as PvP, honestly. That'd be a lot of fun for PvP. Just Arms Warrior, damage dealer, and just like charge in, stun these uppers right in front of you. I'm thinking I have to spend 5 points, right? I have to spend 5. Either Shockwave, Avatar. Because I like the increase in strength, right? This is not explaining things very well, though. Like Blade Master Torment, activating Avatar or Blade Storm cast the other at reduced effectiveness. So is it saying that if I activate Avatar, cast the other at reduced effectiveness? Like, I don't understand that. Activating Avatar or Colossus Smash cast Recklessness at reduced effectiveness. Where's Recklessness? Is there even a Recklessness here? Okay. I might just ignore this. I could Avatar this because I really want Arm to the Teeth and Avatar, and then I could just move my next 2 points and be oh shit, a Shockwave person. Although I won't have this. Or I take that, be a Shockwave, and do a Sonic Boom. Because I do like no. Am I going to either be a Blade Storm or Colossus Smash? And I'll be using that. I got 1 point. Actually, let me take this off. I'll put 2 points in Cruel Strikes. And I think I'm happy with that. With the critical strike chance increased by 2% and critical strike damage of Execute increased by 10%. So I'll be focused on Execute. Execute's awesome. So let's go to the orange points available. Alright, so off the get-go, Mortal Strike, you know, a vicious strike that deals over 3,000 damage and reduces the effectiveness of healing on targets by 50% for 10 seconds. And then follow that, overpower the enemy, dealing almost 2,000 damage, cannot be blocked, dodged, or parried. This is like automatically, I'm going to hit you. Increases the damage of your next step, Mortal Strike by 20%, stacking up 2 times. I really like it. So, when we look at these next 3 abilities and see what they do, I have to spend 6 to unlock these. Okay, so Do I want to be the type of person who is focused on overpower, apparently? So, martial paralysis. Overpower increases the damage of your next mortal strike or cleave by 20%. Stacks 2 times. Die by the sword. Increases your parry chance by 100% and reduces all damage you take by 30%. Or improved execute. Execute no longer has a cooldown. And if your foe survives, 20% of the rage spent is refunded. Not bad. Damage of overpower is increased by 10% with improved overpower. I like that. Blood Surge. Your bleed effects have a chance to grant you 5 rage. So if I constantly want to be rage, be generating a lot of rage. Fueled by violence. You are healed by 50% of the damage dealt by deep wounds. Ooh. Now you're making me get curious about rend and stuff and damage over time. You really are making me focus on damage over time stuff now. What was it? None of these had like a damage over time type of thing that I really cared about, right? Kind of like maybe Thunderous Roar, maybe? Because you are healed for 50% of damage dealt by deep wounds. Whenever you parry, you heal for 10% of your maximum health. It can only occur once per second. Wow. I do like that. So this is die by the sword. That's a freaking dope. Oh snap type situation. Sudden death. Your attacks have a chance to make your next execute cost no rage. Be usable on any target regardless of their health and deal damage as if you spent 40 rage. While Whirlwind also slams your primary target. Wow, that's cool because I actually did some focus on that. So, man, I'm like less focused on overpower, but let's get these 3 with an overpower. Let's get that. Let's get that. Okay, let's start over here. So, Technician, you have a 2.3 chance per rage spent on abilities to reset the remaining cooldown on your overpower. That's really cool because with that comes Skull Splitter. So bash an enemy's skull, dealing a lot of damage. Rend, which is wound the target, causes them to bleed over time. Instant damage plus damage over time. Or you get Exhilarating Blows, which Mortal Strike and Cleave have a 15% chance to instantly reset their own cooldowns. Tide of Blood. When Skull Splitter damages an enemy, it causes your Deep Wounds and Rend to expire instantly. Bloodborne. Deep Wounds, Rend, and Thunderous Roar bleed effects deal 7.5% increased damage. So I didn't get Thunderous Roar, so I don't think I'll be looking into that. So, Dreadnought. Overpower has 2 charges and causes a seismic wave, dealing damage to all enemies in a 10-yard line. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 charges. I wonder why they shortened yard. 10-yard line. They could spell it out. And causes a seismic wave. Seismic wave. Isn't that over here? Seismic. Oh, okay, never mind. That's something else. So, Colossal Smash, which I'm probably going to get, because it smashes the enemy's armor, dealing a lot of damage and increases damage you deal to them by 30% for 13 seconds. Below that is Anger Management. Every 20 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown of Colossus Smash and Blade Storm by 1 second. Ooh, there's a Blade Storm that I might get. But the cooldown on this is 45 seconds. In addition with it, in for the kill. So Colossal Smash Increases your haste by 10% and by 20% if the target is below 35% health. So this is like, I'm really trying to kill you. Or Test of Might. When the Colossal Smash expires, your strength is increased by 1% for every 10 rage you spend during Colossal Smash. Lasts 12 seconds. That's pretty good. Blunt Instrument. Colossal Smash damage increased by 30%, and its effective duration is increased by 3 seconds. I like that because it lasts for 13 seconds. To have it going on for 16 seconds, hating that guy who has reduced armor, that's good. Warbreaker. Replaces Colossal Smash. Colossal Smash the ground and shatter the armor of all enemies within 8 yards. Dealing a lot of damage and increases damage you deal to them by 30 seconds for 13 seconds. So, smashes on the ground. So this is like AoE damage. Massive AoE damage. Not too AoE focused. This is more single target focused. I'll think on that. If I keep going down, Impel, which the damaging critical strikes of your abilities deal an additional 10% damage. Nice. Massacre. Execute is now usable on targets below 35% health. I think it's originally supposed to be at 25%. But for some reason it's still showing as if I have that talent point. So I think that's like a bug or something. Sweeping Strikes. Every 30 seconds. For 15 seconds, your single target damage abilities hit one additional target within 8 yards for 75%. So this is more of an AoE thing. Cleave. Strikes all enemies in front of you for 1300 damage. Inflicting deep wounds. Cleave will consume your overpower effect to deal increased damage. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Not bad. Improved Mortal Strike. Damage Mortal Strike increased by 5%. That's a strong possibility for that one. Storm Swords. Whirlwind costs 3 more rage and has a 14-second cooldown. It now deals 170% more damage. Wow. 175% more damage. Collateral damage. When Sweeping Strike ends, your next Whirlwind deals 25% increased damage for each ability used during Sweeping Strikes. That damaged a second target. Maybe. Reaping Swings. Cooldown of Cleave reduced by 3 seconds. So if you're really into AoE, this is where you want to focus your points on. So I will get Whirlwind also slams your primary target. I like that. The damage of critical strikes of your abilities deal an additional 10% damage. Yes. Massacre. So yes. Improved Immortal Strike. Yes. I will get Colossal Smash. Do I want... Yeah, I think I want this. Yeah, I really want in for the kill. Like, I'm really trying to kill that person. And did I want one of these? Colossal Smash increased by 30% and its effect and its duration by 3 seconds. I think I like this better compared to have like an AoE version of it. Which brings do I need Tactician? You have a 2.3% chance per rage spent on abilities to reset the remaining cooldown on Overpower. Yeah, sure, because Overpower is awesome. Mortal Strike and Cleave have a 50% chance to instantly reset their own cooldowns. Yeah, Mortal Strike person. And Overpower has 2 charges. It causes that wave. Yep. Okay, I have an extra point. I want something that's a little bit more on the passive side. You are healed 50% of the damage dealt by deep wounds. I don't even have deep wounds, do I? How badly do I rend though? Because I'm scared that I'm gonna want to beef up rend. Or no. Oh my gosh. What should I spend my last point on? Ah. Let me reload this real quick. I'm looking at. Let me see. I don't have deep wound. I have rend already. Why do I have rend already? I didn't select it. See this broken piece of crap. It says I have rend here, but you haven't added this to your action bar. Yeah, but I don't have. Did I add rend? Oh no! I didn't save any of this. That's okay. I know what I picked. I'll just start over here. I might just get rend just for the hell of it. Because I don't have deep wounds. I don't know where you get deep wounds. I guess it's something from crits? I'll just put that on for now. Alright, let me continue on. Depth experience. Mastery increased by 1.1% and tactician's chance to trigger is increased by an additional 0.04%. Can go up double that. Bloodletting. Deep wounds. Spread and thunderous roar bleed effects last 6 seconds longer and have an increased critical strike chance. Battle Lord. Your overpower has a 25% chance to reset the cooldowns of a mortal strike and cleave and reduces their rage cost by 10. Ooh. Fatality. Your mortal strike and cleave against enemies above 30% health have a high chance to apply fatal mark. When your enemy falls below 30% health, your next execute inflicts an additional lot of damage, almost 3,800 damage per stack. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Valor in Victory increases versatility by 1% and reduces the cooldown of Die by the Sword by 15 seconds because it's already at 2 minutes. And with that, you get Blade Storm, right? Become an unstoppable storm of destructive force, striking all nearby enemies for a lot of damage for 4.8 seconds. Deals reduced damage beyond 8 targets. You are immune to movement and parrying and loss of control effects, but can use defensive abilities and can avoid attacks. This is so PvP. It's 100% PvP. Dance of Death. If your Blaze Storm helps kill an enemy, your next Blaze Storm lasts 3 seconds longer, so you just keep going. Unhinge. While Blaze Storm is active, you automatically cast a total of 2 mortal strikes at random nearby enemies. Oh my god. While Blaze Storm, every 0.8 seconds you gain 5% movement speed and 5% strength. Stacks up 6 times, lasts 6 seconds. Or Merciless Bone Grinder. When Blade Storm ends, Whirlwind and Cleave deal 50% increased damage for 9 seconds. Let's see here. Critical Thinking. Critical strikes chance increased by 1% and execute immediately refunds 5% of the rage spent. And with that, You can get sharpened blades, which your mortal strike, cleave, and execute critical strike damage is increased by 10%, and your execute has a 5% increased critical hit chance. Oof. 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 Talk to me. I got 5 points to put into this stuff. Execute precision. Execute causes the target to take 25% more damage from your next mortal strike, stacking up 2 times. Wow. Juggernaut. Execute. Execute increase executes damage dealt by 3% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 12 times. My goodness. I want all of these. Although this was looking good, but some of this, but it's just like, damn. This looks like it hits harder. Alright, I'm gonna redo all this here because my dumbass accidentally screwed this up. But anyway, I'm gonna end my video there. So I just went through all the talent trees for that. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe, all that. And for those of you on the live stream, I greatly appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning in. And I will put in the chat where each tree started. So if you're only interested in one of them, you just see where it starts and start from there. So again, thank you very much, everyone. Hope you have a good day, and I'll be back next time. Again, please like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz.